How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Liberty Hour here on this Friday, April 27th. Pretty breezy day earlier this morning, and it pretty cold, actually. It was pretty warm earlier this week. It's supposed to heat up for next week. It's supposed to be up to 88, which is, in my opinion, not good. I'm not a huge fan of hot weather. For me, it's like 70 to 75 with a little breeze is good weather for me. That's just my opinion. We're back here with Ricky Navarrete. We were just talking about Avicii and the legacy he left behind and his death, and then we got into talking about a little bit about the Stephon Clark shooting that happened in Sacramento and the impact that it had, or the non-impact, I should say. It should have had a bigger impact. I wanted to go ahead and talk to you about this. So obviously, things that me and you like to do outside of school. We talked about it on the first show, and it's still huge. If not, it's even grown even more. And that's Fortnite.
Oh, gee, did we really talk about that on the first show?
We did, yes.
How long has Fortnite been a thing?
Since about September. It was really big around like November, and then it just grew, and it's just kept growing. In fact, I have this up here. This is from Metro in the UK. This was also posted in Forbes. According to a research company, Super Data, Fortnite has made an estimated $126 million in just February of this year alone.
In just February?
It beat out PUBG, which took $103, or $103 million, I should say. Here's the thing that's so crazy about that: PUBG charges $29.99 on Xbox and PS4. Fortnite's free. So you have to buy like the V-Bucks inside the game and stuff like that, amongst like other things, Battle Pass and all that kind of stuff. It's made $23 million more than PUBG. It's not even cost.
Oh my God.
And that's just in February. It's probably shattered it in March as well. And probably now that we're in April. I mean, that was for Season 3 Battle Pass. There were 2 Battle Passes before that. And Season 4 is about to start. God knows how much people are going to spend on that.
That thing's going to be like superhero themed. I'm not sure if you heard about that.
Yeah, really? Oh, that's cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking is, I've seen a lot of videos of, the meteors have now been hitting the island and stuff like that. Obviously, there was the whole rumor that Tilted was going to go down. But personally, what I think is going to happen is the day Season 4 starts or the day Season 3 ends, I think that's when Tilted is going to get blown down. I think that Season 4 is going to start out with no Tilted. That's just my thought.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if there's going to still be a Tilted, but I just remember, like, when I saw some video about people trying to figure out what was going on with the comet that was going to hit, and, like, I don't know, I guess it was just a big fat prank or something, but there's too many videos now, like, that are like that, or that's something different, so I don't even know what to believe anymore.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what's great. I mean, it's amazing, like I said, a free game like this, the fact that it has lasted this long, most like trends and stuff like that, regardless if it's a game, if it's a stupid hashtag online, don't last that long. This is long lasting, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, I know, and it's also ended long lasting relationships. Just saying, dude. From a lot of stuff I've seen online,
the videos, the memes, everything related to it is so funny. But I mean, the fact that they add new weapons every week, new skins every week, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, they just added the sticky grenades, which are something I was actually talking about a couple months ago with somebody, and they're like, watch, they'll do it. Yep, they did it. And you can make some really epic plays with that. I don't know if you've experienced that at all yet, but I've seen people throw impulse grenades and have them land right next to a person to where they'll explode and the other person will die instead of themselves. Mm-hmm. Which, honestly, that's one thing I don't understand, is that if you get thrown like a sticky grenade on you and it explodes up, then you'll die. But if you're next to another person, they'll die. But why not you?
It can't be your sticky grenade because you can't do friendly fire to your teammates anymore. I remember I used to do that to you and used to get really mad. But, like, you can't kill your own teammates anymore, so if I threw one on you, it'd only kill me, not you.
Oh, no, that's not what I'm talking about. Like, if another team throws one. I've seen people throw, like, one, and then the person who gets plunger-nated, they throw impulse, and they can jump right into the person that threw it on them and kill them.
the hell? Okay, then I don't know. You probably have to have a lot of shields or something then.
That's what I'm saying. I think because it does like 100 damage.
Yeah.
So if you have like 100 shield, it'll probably do like the damage of the shield to you and then kill that other person. That's probably what I've seen online. But you can make some epic plays with that. But I mean, when I saw this article, because I was pulling this up earlier today, it was crazy. I was just like 126 million in 1 month alone, and this thing has been around for months upon months. It's crazy. But yeah. Oh, nothing, bro. I saw you were doing there. People will understand what Ricky was looking at here in a little bit. But I just want to talk about that because Fortnite is, like you were saying, it's a movement.
Oh, Daniel was the one saying that, dude. I didn't want to believe him at first. I was like, it's just another game. Like, it's like Call of Duty, whatever. People are going to go crazy over it, blah, blah. But no, dude, they're still freaking going strong with all the videos, all the memes, like you said. Oh, my God. I don't know, dude. Like, I can't stop getting people to hit me up to get on. And, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, I have fun with it still. But, you know, after like 3 games where each one takes, like, 20 minutes, you're just like, okay, dude, why am I still doing this? Like, it's the same thing over and over and over. And you have to wait 20 whole minutes just to, you know, try to win. I don't know. I mean, like,
at this point, the last few days, the only thing I've been doing it for is challenges because season 3 is about to end, and I'm trying to get as many tiers as I freaking can.
Yeah, well, Daniel just messaged me because he's listening. He's like, I called it a month ago, and yeah, whatever. I knew. Okay, no, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know it was gonna freaking be around this long, but Jesus Christ.
I predicted it would be done when we predicted. That's what we did on the first show. We predicted how long it was going to last, and I remember I said like I think 2 months. It's been at least 2 months.
Jesus, I hope I said like 3 weeks.
I'll have to go back and watch. I still have it on my Spreaker and on my YouTube. I'll have to go back and watch that later. But our predictions, regardless, they were shattered. So away from that, I wanted to go ahead and talk about this. I've been meaning to talk about this on my show for quite some time, and I haven't gotten to it. And I figured I might as well go ahead and bring this up with you. This was a story that came out last month, I believe. Yes, this came out exactly a month ago today. Uber suspended from testing self-driving cars in Arizona. Arizona Governor Doug Ducey suspended Uber from testing autonomous vehicles in the state on Monday after a self-driving car fatally struck a woman last week. The Republican governor, in a letter to Uber CEO Dara Khosrowshahi, I butchered that name, I did the best I could, sorry, ordered the Arizona Department of Transportation to suspend the company's self-driving testing. Ducey said that he found recent dashcam footage released of the crash disturbing and alarming, adding that it raises many questions about the ability of Uber to continue testing in Arizona. The footage released on Wednesday by the Tempe Police Department showed both exterior and interior angles of the car ride leading up to the moment the pedestrian, identified as Elaine Herzberg, 49 years old, was hit. Now, there's obviously been a lot of other stuff that's been going out there about self-driving cars messing up and stuff like that. It's obviously the new technology that everybody's talking about that can possibly be implemented, sometime in the near future with knowing how technology keeps growing. I just want to get your thoughts on self-driving cars in general. Do you think that they would be safe? Do you trust them? Do you think it'd be a good idea? Do you think it will be something that gets implemented anytime soon? Just give me your thoughts on it in general, why or why not.
Okay, I'm hoping it's not getting implemented soon, like, as in, while I'm still alive, just because I don't want to have to be all psyched out by seeing those kinds of things, but I feel like if there were self-driving cars, they'd have to drive the speed limit, because, I mean, if they're programmed, I don't think they're going to be programmed to, like, know when to speed up, and, like, no, they probably are, I don't know, dude, but, like, I feel like they just have to be, like, super cautious, because, one false move by, like, an AI can screw it all up for a whole company, so I'm pretty sure they're going to be pretty serious about how they program it and make sure it's the safest thing ever and, promote it as the safest driving vehicle and whatnot. But I don't think they're going to be around anytime soon, but I mean, personally, I don't really think that's also the smartest choice on people's ends. I mean, I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to be like, oh yeah, you don't have to do whatever. You can be doing whatever the hell you want in the car. You can change your kid in the car while you're going to Walmart. I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
That's so fucking stereotypical.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, They can just like I get what they're trying to go for, or whatever. They're just trying to let you multitask in cars and whatnot, but like they're not promoting it as that. But they just
right. Yeah, no, I mean, my thoughts on it is I don't want to trust my livelihood, my life, to a machine.
Oh, me neither. Me neither.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I understand, the fad of technology and everything like that. I mean, there's a lot of positives behind technology, especially lately, don't get me wrong, but this is not one of them. And what scares me is this is something that could definitely happen in the future, is we could see everybody using a self-driving car, and if everybody else on the road is driving one, it just doesn't seem right. I mean, technology screws up, but we shouldn't have this in place if technology is going to screw up when there's human lives at risk here. I'm sorry. If a person, people say it's been proven to be safer. Mm-hmm. I don't care. I'd want to trust my safety with my own body, and I would hope most other people would as well. Take your own life into your own hands. Don't put it in like the hands of this dumbass who's programming a self-driving car and God knows where. It makes so much more sense, in my opinion, to just trust your own lives with your own hands. And I just hope this isn't something that government or anytime soon anybody makes mandatory. No.
I don't know why. Like, I just thought about this, but like, with newer technology and whatever, also means like if they're gonna be self-driving, I just thought about this. Like, what if like hackers start becoming more advanced and people start hacking into cars and whatnot? Like, do you think anybody's ever thought about that? I'm sure people have, but like, I'm sure that's not the first thing you think of when you're like self-driving cars. You're like, oh, self-driving, oh, robots, whatever. But nobody ever thinks about like, oh, what if somebody like hacks into your car and like I don't know, there could be new robberies, new like crimes out there, like people like a new way of homicide. Like, it'll make it seem like an accident, but really it could be somebody else controlling the car, kind of thing in the future. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Well, the thing is, that's not out the realm of possibility. That's the thing. That's what's so crazy is there's so much that can go wrong. Sure, I mean, it can be a very good thing. It can be quite effective. But, I mean, there's so much that could go wrong. The unintended consequences behind a proposal or an idea like this is just, to me, it's insane. I mean, I think the cons definitely outweigh the pros here. Some other people are just excited, like I said, to see the technology, but I think people really need to understand the damage that this can cause, especially if you're driving a very unsafe car. I mean, obviously today the whole thing is to try to be more fuel efficient, have more hybrid cars, electric cars. So let's say the most famous electric car I can think of obviously is a smart car or a Prius. Toyotas are relatively safe cars. Prius isn't exactly the most safest, but let's say for example a smart car is ran on electric and it is a self-driving car. If you get into a wreck even barely with one of those, you are donezo. Period. You're donezo. And so that's why I say I think if we're going to have self-driving cars and they're, quote, proven to work, I think people should still get a choice if they want to use them. I think that cars should still be built in two different ways. One is a self-driving way if people really think that that's a good idea. The other is, the normal way where people can, drive their own cars with their own responsibility. But the problem then becomes is then you have people that are on the road that are driving a self-driving car while you are driving it yourself. So then the system has to account for the fact that it's not just the other systems on the road. There are people that are manually driving the cars. So you have an automatic system versus a manual system in that case. And to me, it's wrong on so many levels, and they need to really reevaluate their idea of what the success of this can be. We're just bringing up the negatives here. I'm sure there's a lot of positives as well. As I was, saying earlier, people have brought up the point that it is been proven to be more safe than people just driving the car around. But, I'm just saying if we're considering this as a possibility, the negatives are something that do have to be brought up.
Yep, that's for sure.
For sure. There is one more thing I want to talk about. I would definitely want to talk to you about what I was telling Bailey about last week, which is the idea of splitting California up into separate states. I mentioned that to you a little earlier in the podcast, but I'm getting towards the end of this part, so I'm going to go ahead and end part 3. We will be right back here with part 4 for you guys here in 1 minute.